G'day, g'day. It's Hey, We're Talking. And it's me, Scotty D, and I've got Mark Ensbey here. Hey, Mark.
Hey, g'day.
I didn't even do it right.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I should have been on the stick and hit the hi, Mark.
You nailed the intro yet again, just as per usual. You've absolutely nailed it. I didn't even hear. Is the music still going? I can't hear it in my headphones.
Yeah, it's totally going still.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were talking about snow and stuff because it's been snowing a lot in the Midwest area. I don't know, it might be snowing other places, but now that I live in the Midwest, all I care about is the Midwest. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Mark before we started, like on Wednesday, this is, of course, you know, we're not recording this live. So on the previous Wednesday here in the Detroit area, it was going to be -9 degrees. And so we were trying to figure out, I couldn't say, the way I asked Google was just like, I don't understand what you're asking.
That's because you're asking it wrong. You just
I know.
have to be
How did I said something like, did I say -9? You said -9. Is that what you said?
But then I said, what's -9 in Celsius or Fahrenheit in Celsius? You were like transfer or translate.
I know. I said something stupid.
Yeah.
No, my questioning was really not on point. It was bad. So Google was just like, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that because you said it really stupid. And
please rephrase and make it smarter for me.
Yeah. So then you asked Australia Google, and it picked it right up.
Yeah, it's smarter over here. The technology that we have in Australia is just...
Besides the internet, you guys are way ahead in technology.
Hey, my internet's fine.
You've never had a problem. It's everybody else that we've talked to has problems. My guess is Creaky doesn't have internet problems.
I don't think he does. Some of the... who's it? Jay Boston from the Creator Cast. I think his internet is like phenomenal, but that's his work.
Like, that's his business.
That's his work.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's like 1 gigabyte something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Gina's,
Gina's was bad too when we did ours. She had a hard time. She does it through her phone. So, I mean, she has really crap internet also.
So I'm going to give you the rundown on Australian internet in 30 seconds.
Dude, Benin would love this. Go ahead.
Okay, so in Australian internet, we have the NBN, which is the National Broadband Network that was rolled out over the last 10 years. 5 years maybe. Horrendously done.
Yeah.
However, 90% of the country has it now.
Yeah.
But in America, internet is cheap, I think. So for me in Australia, I have 5 different options of NBN products that I can purchase. Uh-huh. So I can buy like a 30 down, 10 up. That's like your basic... which isn't enough to stream multiple devices.
And what would that cost you?
70 Australian dollar dues a month.
What?
$50 to $70.
Wait a minute. For 30 down and 10 up?
Yeah.
$70?
Yeah.
Australian too, which is like, I think that's more money than... Are you guys more than us or less? I can't remember.
We're less.
Okay. So you're
probably that'd be like
$60.
90?
Oh, you think it'd be $90? Oh yeah, it would be more. It would be more American dollars. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so
let's say it's 50. So let's say that internet is about 50 a month.
Okay. So let's just pretend that's like $65 American. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then you've got like 50 down, 20 up.
Uh-huh.
Which is another service. And then you've got like the premium, which is anywhere from 90 to 100 down up to 40 up. And like you can pay anywhere from 90 to 130 Australian dollars a month for that.
Okay.
So the internet that I've got max 100 down, max 45 up.
Okay.
But the Telstra that I use is... if I was to pay for those speeds genuinely, I've been with Telstra for 12 years, so I get it for free. That's like $129 a month Australian for that speed internet.
Okay, so 129 Australian, let me see. That'd be $92 here. So it's less American dollars for your 129. So that means you're getting, it's the funniest part is you just sort of froze.
Really?
When we started talking about that.
About my internet.
That's funny. So what is your speed again that you have there? This is
100
riveting
down.
conversation. You're riveting.
Oh, it is riveting conversation.
100 down and what up?
Like 40, 45 up.
That's not bad. I mean, but still, that's $92. Dang. So I pay $80 a month for. It's technically gigabit, so it's supposed to be 1 gig down, but because it's through just regular cable, it's not fiber. I think the fastest up I've ever had is like 75 up. So it's not as slow up as it is down. I mean, it's not as fast up.
NBN's cable. It's not anything fancy.
Well, I had fiber. I've talked about this so many times with Australian people. People are like, we get it. But I had fiber in South Carolina, and it was like every time consistently, I'd be like 750 down, 650, 700 up. It was the best. It was so great.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
But here in Australia, we just deal with what we've got.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you've got a decent... See, Australians are all scabs. They don't want to spend the 100.
When you say that, it feels like it sounds different than for here. Like scabs to us would be if somebody crosses a picket line who's like in a union, like so they broke and they're not a union worker. They're called a scab worker.
Yeah. Okay, so a scab here would be just someone that
is cheap.
Is tight, cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't want to spend the money. Or they don't want to do that.
I love it. It's a great word. Go ahead.
Or some of them have a mobile phone, so they don't want to get home broadband because they've got 4G, so they don't want to sort of pay for. Because I pay like $100 a month for this.
Just for your phone, not yours and your wife's.
No, she pays $100 for hers as well.
What is happening? Why?
What do you mean? That's just what it is.
I use Google has their own network over here. It's really cheap. Okay. Now I don't get like unlimited. Is that unlimited data?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's the difference. But I don't.
Yeah, but I don't use it. Like even if it was capped at like 40 or 50 gig, it'd still be like $70 or $80 a month.
But they'll still that's the thing. And I know they do the same thing over there. They have to. At a certain point, like, you know how Danny will just use his for everything. There's a certain point where they just start to slow you down. Like because you're using so much. They just start to throttle you.
It's like 50 or 100 gig once they get to a certain threshold.
They just start throttling
you. Know what? Yeah.
Yeah, you're using too much. So here for my Google, for Cheryl and I both have Android phones and we're on Google's network, and it's you're going to die. It's like $55 a month for both of us.
Each?
No.
For both?
For both. And so what happens is, though, you pay for a gig of data, so it's $10 per gig of data that you would use, but since we're at home, we both work from home, we use Wi-Fi all the time. So our bill's usually like $60 to $70 a month total.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Like Amanda and I would be paying 1, 2, 3, somewhere between $250 and $350 a month for our home internet, mobile services. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. And then on top of that, I'm just thinking about, so then if you have like cable, like TV, like cable TV you add on, and then your electric and I don't know if you guys have gas
Netflix
heat
Stan.
or whatever. Yeah, all that stuff.
We spoke about Stan, the Australia's version of sensational streaming service.
Yes. So, man, that's really expensive.
It's so expensive in Australia. And not to mention, you have to fight the crocodiles just to get down to the shops.
And it's not like I'm not making fun of where you live at all, but it's not like you live in a huge metropolis either. It's not like crazy, like millions and millions of people all in one little space, right?
No. Hobart. The south of Tassie has like 250,000 people. And Tassie's massive.
Yeah. And so you're not, dude, that's a lot of money.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
But they've got you over a barrel. There's not really much you can do about it. Because unless you swap to a a dodgy provider that's probably not going to have as good a service.
Right. But the NBN, what isn't the whole point of it being through the government that they just basically take it out in your taxes? Shouldn't everybody just get free internet if it's the government internet?
I have no idea how it all worked out. This is a conversation for Bannon. He's the one that knows.
He's like
ropeable.
By the way, I asked Bannon to join us, and he was busy. He said he had his Wave a Day project going, so he said he couldn't be there. So I asked him to come on the show, but he denied me. I invited him on because we were really slagging him. Is that a good term to use for?
We weren't slagging him.
A little bit. We were making fun of him a little bit for his live stream and stuff like that, but it was all in fun. We love Ben On. It's not like I was like trying to be like, hey, you know that idiot Ben On? He's a real jerk. And
let's get him on so we can rag him live.
No, I wanted to have him on so he could like make fun of us a little bit, but he was busy surfing. What a horrible life. He's busy surfing.
As you do in Australia, you just get up and go surfing. Right, so during this stream, during this recording, I'm going to ask you 10 questions randomly.
Okay. Go ahead.
First question, which you've kind of answered already.
Yeah.
iPhone or Android?
I used to be really hardcore iPhone. Like, I was the guy who would show up to people's houses and they would be talking about a problem they were having, like with their Windows computer or something. And I would go, well, you know how to solve that problem is you need to have an Apple computer. And they would be like, oh, the Apple is too much money and all this stuff. And I go, listen, I've had my laptop for this amount of years. I only have to buy a computer every so number of years because they last forever. They're quality. They're easier to use. You don't get viruses. I used to like disciple people in Apple. I worked at Apple at one point.
Yeah.
Loved them. And then I started looking at our phone bill because like you, our phone bill, when I had my iPhones, I was on T-Mobile. And it wasn't outrageously expensive, but it was like $130 a month for Cheryl and I.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, you know what? I'm going to find something cheaper. So I saw this, at the time it was called Project Fi, and they changed it to Google Fi. And I was like, I'm going to try this. And you had to have an Android phone to use it. And so I bought the Pixel 2 XL, loved it. And that was it. That was history. That was a little over a year ago. So now I'm fully into the Android world. Completely.
Yeah. Well, see, I've tried Android. I just love Apple's ecosystem and the quality and the... It just works. I hate using that term because everyone goes, oh, Apple just works. But you don't understand if you've never had one. But it does. But what I've decided to do is actually purchase a phone outright so that as soon as my contract's up,
that's what I did.
I can get into a mega, mega low and I'll just be happy with an iPhone 10 for a few years.
Yeah. And that's
the plan. I'm a tech head, so that's probably not going to work. I'll probably upgrade to a newer iPhone in 12 months or so.
Yeah.
But the contracts are where they get you because I can get a $50 a month contract with Telstra.
Yeah.
But if you want the phone, it's like $99 a month.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where they get you. So I figure if I go and buy an iPhone, hopefully if I can be settled enough with it for like 12 to 18 months or 2 years, you'll save the money back that you
I said the same thing. I had the Google Pixel 2 XL and then the 3 came out and I got that. And then Cheryl had the smaller version. So I was like, hey, do you want the Google Pixel 2
big
XL?
One.
And she's happy that she has it now. But she doesn't care about that stuff, so I got the new one. But it's the truth is, Mark, these phones, nothing new is happening. There's nothing new happening.
No, I know.
There
hasn't, like, if you look at Apple, don't know what's happening there. I've only just woken up. If you look at Apple, nothing has genuinely wowed me in the last 5 years.
No. And
like Force Touch was like the thing 5 years ago, and now it's like they're almost going to drop it out the back end of the car.
It's not even like, I think I enjoyed the whole thing of Force Touch when it first came out too, but now I just sit here and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't use it anymore.
What do you need it for? It's just a gimmick.
You don't need it. Yeah.
And here's the thing too. I don't know if you watch this guy on YouTube, Unbox Therapy. Have you ever seen Lou? He does like tech.
He's one of my favorites.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
He's one of my favorite guys too. He just did a thing about the Apple laptops, MacBook Air, and all the keyboard problems.
Yep.
And Cheryl and I were sitting there watching this video of Lou talking about this, and I just kept sitting there thinking, my gosh, if Steve Jobs was alive, people's heads would roll in Apple for this.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Cheryl was Cheryl said he would literally be like almost murdering people over this. People would lose their jobs. And here we sit and they're pretending like this is not even happening. Now listen, Apple did that when Steve Jobs was around too. They keep it really hush hush. They pretend there's no problem. They fix it and then they say, "Oh, we've already taken care of that." But now, like some of the things that are going wrong, these keyboard things, like when he was typing, if nobody has seen that, you should go watch that video.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've watched every single video.
Bizarre.
I know.
Like just letters pop up when you're typing like E and a couple other letters. It'll type like 4 E's in a row or skip its spaces out of nowhere. It's bizarre.
Because they've got this new butterfly key system that's supposed to be so low profile. They can get the MacBooks like this thin, but it's destroying what a keyboard is meant to do. Like go back
you need to be able to type on it.
That's exactly right. Keyboard is kind of useless if you can't type the letters. And it might look cool, but if you can't type the letters.
The thing that bothers me too is like, I think that the iPad that they just came out with probably is the most interesting thing they've done in a while. Those new iPad Pros. But then you hear all these problems with those as well. And not only that, these iPad Pros are priced as high as a laptop. And you can't do everything that you can do with a laptop. So it's like, why am I going to buy this? Because I was tempted. Same thing with the new Google Pixel Slate. Since I've been doing all this Android stuff, I was like, maybe I'm going to get a Slate. And I started reading about it, and I'm like, unless somebody figures out how to let me be able to use this thing as a laptop, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
If you have an iPad or if you have a whatever the Android version is of these things, you're only really using it to like watch stuff on while you're laying in bed or you're on a flight or something, right?
Yeah. I got a mate of mine that's got an iPad Pro for his drafting work. So he's a draftsman.
Yeah.
And he said it's good, and the pencil, and like he can understand how the future may be that we're not actually working on Macs and laptops, we're working on iPads. But he said there are just 60% of tasks that you just can't do because we're so ingrained that a laptop is the only way to do stuff.
Yeah.
And like you can't just have an iPad Pro and then a keyboard that comes off, because then if you leave, you don't charge your keyboard, or if you leave your keyboard in the boot of the car, then you got to go back and get it.
Yeah.
Like he said, as phenomenal a device that it is, and the horsepower inside to be able to process whatever you're doing on your iPad Pro.
Yeah.
He said, I'll never ever switch to an iPad as a solo device.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. I waited on purpose because I was tempted. I really wanted to get one because they looked awesome and they're so powerful. I was like reading all this stuff about people talking about how powerful they were and the computing strength of them. And I was just like, man, this might be the thing that finally moves me away from having a laptop and having an iPad and all this crap. And the more I listened to people, the more they were just like, until Apple will, and this is the same thing for Android, although I think Android's closer to allowing some of this stuff to happen because Chromebooks have the ability to be in the mobile world and a little bit in the feel like a laptop world.
Yeah.
But Apple will not let Mac OS and iOS cross paths.
Yeah.
They won't let them integrate. And once they do that, they'll dominate again. That's what I don't understand. Why won't you just allow people to use their mobile devices with the operating system that you're using on a computer, especially because the iPad Pro is strong enough to do it? Yeah. What are they waiting for? I don't get it.
No idea. I don't get it either.
because if they did that again, they'd be ahead of everybody else. That's the thing that Apple does really well, is they get ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff, but especially with phones and stuff like that, now it's just a conglomerate of all the same. They're all the same.
Yeah, but in saying that, you said Apple's ahead. I personally think Apple are 5 years behind where other manufacturers are heading.
Well, yeah, now they are.
You look at, now they are. 10 years ago, they were so far advanced, it was ridiculous.
Well, like the iPad, though, Mark, nobody has come close to that still. Nobody's caught up to the iPad. So, like in the tablet market, they're still so far ahead. But in the phone market, man, Samsung, Huawei, all these people now, they're just like, Apple's in trouble if they don't start innovating more quickly.
Absolutely. Right, question 2.
Okay.
PC or Mac?
I have a Mac, and I love my Mac computers. I do.
But you're Android, so you'd probably appreciate the Windows ecosystem then.
No. I played with a Windows computer the other day, and I felt like I was the stupidest human alive. I couldn't figure it out. It was terrible.
Tell you what.
It was terrible.
I'll tell you a quick story. So the pastor of our church, I do a lot of tech stuff within our church. So I've just completely got him a brand new Windows laptop, transferred all the data over, got him ready to set up. And I felt like a nufty, like serious. I'm like, how do I do this again? Where's the settings? I'm just so fluent now.
It's not
with Mac.
It's not
even
not
like
intuitive.
a simple.
It's weird.
It's not. Even like a simple task like shutting an internet browser down.
Yeah.
Like we all know, if you're using Mac, it's on the top left.
Yeah.
So every time I'm on his Windows laptop, I'm like, oh, not that side, that side.
Yeah.
Like Windows, you're just so dumb.
Yeah. I actually went and got a Chromebook this weekend because I wanted to try it out. Yeah. And I'm still struggling. Like even the trackpad, I don't know if you knew this, but like on all these other trackpads, when you're scrolling on a Mac, it's the opposite.
Yeah, I know.
They go the other way.
If you're scrolling up, you actually are scrolling up on a page.
Yeah.
Whereas on a Windows, if you scroll up, you're actually scrolling down.
Yes.
It's backwards, topsy-turvy world.
Why are they doing it? I don't understand the point.
And I didn't realize how crazy it was until I got a Mac, and I'm like, oh, of course, you're scrolling up. Yeah. You're scrolling the page up. Yeah. But on a mouse wheel, if you scroll up, you're actually scrolling down the page.
Yeah.
They get us all confused, but I didn't realize until I saw the light and went Mac.
Yeah. No, I've invested a lot into Mac, and on top of that, that's the thing. If I ever decided that I was going to go like PC or something else, all of my media, all my digital purchases are all in iTunes. Like they've got me by the what. They got a hold of me.
Yeah, they do.
So,
that's the thing with the Apple ecosystem that I think a lot of people get frustrated in.
Yeah. There's no way to it's very hard to bust out. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff, because I've looked into it, because I was like, what am I going to have to do? Because I have a lot. I have a disturbing number of movies. It's it's really not. It's a problem. I have like 860 something movies.
Wow,
yeah. I
I
have a disease, and what happens is I go when they have the sales. Whenever there's like ones for $5 or whatever, if I even remotely liked the movie, something inside me goes, "It's only $5," and I buy it.
See, I think in the 10 years I've been in the Apple ecosystem, I reckon I would have been lucky to have bought 3 movies total.
What?
Because I figure, like, let's be honest, 5 years ago, everyone was downloading stuff. So, like, I was downloading like a crazy person.
I never
did. But now,
that.
With Netflix, Stan.
I know.
And I just saw something popped up on Facebook called 10 something or other that's just come to Australia. 10.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It's just another streaming. It's just another streaming service.
Wow. Yeah.
But like, you just don't need movies anymore.
Cheryl rewatches movies so much, it's insane. She is really. There's a bunch of movies that I like to watch again too, but. You're right. If I was patient, they would eventually show up on Netflix or Amazon or whatever. In fact,
Yeah.
there's a couple that I've purchased recently, and then I'll be scrolling through Amazon and I go, oh my gosh, I just bought that stupid movie. What's wrong with me? Yeah, I got a movie problem. I have a movie problem. Anyway, so listen, we could keep going if you want. We're at a point where we should wrap up, but I mean, I'll keep talking to you, and you can. But if you come back, you can tell me the rest of your questions.
Yeah, I know. We got through 2 out of the 10.
I know.
It's gonna be the longest.
No, we can go
question
faster
series.
on the next one. What do you think?
Okay.
All right.
Let's do that.
All right.
I'll come back next Thursday. I think you want me back.
Yeah,
Thursday?
come back on Thursday,
Okay.
and we'll talk
Okay,
again.
cool.
All right.
Okay. See.
Oh,
my God, my
perfect timing. And on that note, we'll talk to you soon.